Hello and welcome back to Operations with Void. Today we will be doing a request that I received in the Discord. I later find out it was half a troll because they were expecting me to be the first to die. But anyways, I figured it's actually a good video to showcase a few different things, so I will be posting it. Anyway, the ship was the Spanish ship, the Canarias, often referred to by players as the Canary. It is a premium version of which British ship? Oh. Sorry. Devonshire. Yes. It's a Devonshire, except it's Spanish. It doesn't get torps, and it gets the all AP no HE armament. So it's a little bit trickier to use because you only have AP to use. But to compensate for that, the Canarias AP has the same gimmick that the British light cruiser AP has. It's short fuse, so you can actually get full penetrations on destroyers. But one thing about this is that it shares with the British is the lack of armor. 16mm bow, 13mm plating. It eats high explosive damage. So you have to be wary about that, and yes, with this small little 51mm belt, you're not going to bounce anything because the casemate is 25mm. So, well, you could bounce shells that are smaller than 380, but the 380mm will just pen you any which way angle, unless they somehow hit your deck armor, which bots tend to aim for closer to waterline, so you're not going to get much deck armor bounces with this. With that, let's head into. So this is the second battle that I took the Canary in for random operations since the rework. The first one, it went well until it didn't. A lot of love from Whiskey made sure that I didn't survive that operation. But this one's the second one. This one's Newport. This, I think it's actually even better than showcasing than Tough would be for this ship in specific, because here, well, we're making use of the speed boost, the one other gimmick the Canary has. We are trying to get up so we can get it into broadside, and the speed boost will help us move around the map to get into position. Because in Newport, especially in Newport, you cannot stay in the bay with anything that's AP only, because AP only ships need to have broadsides to do damage. If you're just shooting at a bow-in ship, all you're going to get is ricochets, maybe some superstructure damage. So here I am trying to range find for that Kuma. Only one pen on that salvo. It is a heavy cruiser, so it does have that. And we held off on the damage control for a little bit to let them cycle their change to AP and then change back to HE. And there we go. Of course, the last hit on the Kuma is a Citadel. And so we're playing with the speed because, well, Oh, there's a 3 citadel hit on the Furutaka. See, this is why you want to get on the broadsides. Not only will you get citadels, but not only will you get good damage, but you will find the citadels of ships. And by playing with the speed, we're able to dodge the torps without even using hydro. And we didn't get the kill there, but we're at 47k damage. And now here we have, they're spawning. This is the bad situation, not the good one. The bad one is they're spawning on the same side you were in when it's center. And it's even worse because the next wave will also be center. So there really is nowhere to be that won't be in danger of the second wave. And you notice there's only one battleship that has left the harbor. And so not only are we doing all the damage, but we're also kind of doing the tanking too. And this ship is not meant for tanking. There we go. See, one hit on a destroyer, it's a full penetration. That's what happens when you have the short fuse. And so, but it can ricochet on some parts. And we're playing with the throttle, the speed, because things are still shooting at us. And unfortunately, I only have a 10-point captain on here. And what we're doing here is we're actually giving distance so that the battleship is the one who's tanking. And I am actually wanting him to stay out and tank. And we're going after the cruiser because 1, it has torpedoes, 2, it has a fast reload and shoots HE, which it doesn't matter with this ship, HE, AP, you're taking a lot of damage. So we're going after the Alba for those reasons. And so the Fuso is really the only ship here that we could bounce shells off of with our side armor. So that's kind of why we are angling for Fuso. And again, British weak armor, you're going to get incapacitations. Oh, there's some torpedoes from the Alba. And shells from the Bayern. So yes, we're just taking damage because no armor. And now the worst part about this has happened. The second wave has the third wave has spawned in. And so I actually used a repair there because I didn't want the engine out, because at this point what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get out of here as fast as possible. And we're not shooting, trying to get undetected, but then the Congo in front of us is spotted. And I'm actually letting my team deal with the Congo to try and get undetected, but destroyers are making that difficult. Destroyers that I cannot see. And we're making use of the terrain to fall back to heal, because as long as we're alive, we can do damage. And there's the Kagero that's been spotting us. We got 5 penetrations for 6k damage on a destroyer with AP. The guns aren't bad. The damage was nerfed for these guns because, well, it was deemed too strong at tier 6. And another a double fire that we're repairing instantly. And we're finally far enough away that the bots aren't going to be shooting us anymore. So we can turn around and get our guns on. And that's another thing when running this ship, or when you are in this operation, you need to be aware of distance between you and the enemy, because sometimes you need to put more distance between the enemy and you so that they focus on another teammate, and therefore spreading the damage around rather than focusing the ship down until it has 0 HP. And when you're running by yourself, like I am in this game, you don't have someone you can say, hey, come tank for me. You have to make sure they tank for you by getting behind them or getting further away from the enemy than them. And what we are doing here is we're actually trying to get back to the helo circle. This is one of the few cases where it's okay to go back for the helo circle, because there's not much that we can do anymore in our state. Where we definitely cannot go come under fire. And since no one else is deciding to leave, we had to be the one out there tanking and making sure things start to die as soon as possible. If you notice, we already have 500k of potential damage in a ship that just does not have armor. But it is because that we were out there, especially for the first wave. With the first wave we were at the sides and we got a third of our damage from just the first wave. And the second wave we put some damage, second and third waves we put some good damage in so that the rest of our team could actually focus down and kill things. And that's the thing, even if it cost you your life, going out in Newport during the first 3 waves will help your team actually get the win in the end. You can, by spawning the Romero, 1, you get a Des Moines level of firepower support. 2 of the cruisers will be separate, and having less ships on the field at the same time, or staggering out how the enemy spawns, because these 2 ships come from the last wave, it helps it helps focus fire for your team so that the enemy has less firing. And 3, if you do this, the Yamato is downgraded to Musashi, so that's less AA to help your carrier. That is actually what the downgrade has been. Back in old Newport, it was Ismo C-hole versus A-hole, and if you were able to get the defend before the 10 minutes were up, then it would be an A-hole, which had a lot less AA, which was important for your carriers. It also means less secondaries for anybody who's getting up close. And so now is the boring part where we sit in the heel circle. We're just going to be shooting at this Ibuki. And so here, you notice back in the heel circle, how few targets. There's just not much that we can shoot at. And with our AP, there's only so much damage we can do. And this is why you don't go into the heel circle at the beginning or during wave 1 or wave 2. No, you want to stay out as long as possible, as long as you can, to shoot at ships before you go back into the heel circle. And you notice I don't even go for the full heal. I don't even think I have adrenaline rush. But we're going out because maybe I have adrenaline rush. But we're going out because being in the heel circle prevents you from being fire support. So we're going out so that we can get the angle and shoot on the enemy ships. And with this, we're more or less in a position where the game's already, it's pretty much been had. We more or less will win, because it's unlikely that the 3 remaining enemy ships will be able to dev strike all of our. Let's see, here we go, another bow and shot. It's all ricochet and bounces. Okay, we had one battleship take out another one of our battleships. So in this last bit is when everybody's falling apart. Oh well, both sides.
La batalla finaliza en 5 minutos.
There we go, we were able to secure that kill. And now we have reached a position again where we have broadsides again. And as I keep saying over and over, this is where AP only ships want to be. Doesn't matter if it's light or heavy or battleships like Atlantico. You want to have broadsides. There we go, there's 6 pens. Although that looks to be dead, so we are already swapping targets to the Nagato. And we wouldn't be able to do this extra damage or do the extra fire support if we were in the heel circle. And so people who just stick in the heel circle are, no, they're a detriment to your team. You can have a better ship in that position. And there we go.
Attention, enemy defeated. Mission complete.
There's the one who went furthest out, and really there's only 2 ships or so actually went out of the harbor, and the fact that the other one was a Colorado. But going out, that's how we were able to ensure the 5 stars and get 150k. And here we are. We're on top of the team as a bottom tier ship with everything else much lower. Like the Zaited should have gone out. It's much better out with the torpedoes and the secondaries, but no, it stayed in the harbor to use bow on. And we had 170 hits for 181k damage. And yeah, this is that is Newport. You need to go out of the harbor. And AP only ship, you need broadsides. So that is the Canarias in operations. It's not that bad of a ship. I got it back when the first time it was released with the Dido, and it does not have torps, but I like it so much more than the Dido. So much more. And their comparison, just because those two were released at the same time, and most people were only able to get one or the other, and the second time it was released, it was again get one or the other for free. And if you can only get one or the other, it's the Canarias that you want, not the Dido. It is much better as a ship, as long as you get broadsides. With that, that will be that's all for today. I hope to see you when we resume our regular weekly videos, and have a good one. Like, subscribe if you want, or don't. That's up to you.